Okay, so what else is there to say about Final Fantasy X? Well, the story is a little bit convoluted, in my opinion. It's just not all that good. Now, there are definitely worse examples of convoluted stories, one of which in particular will be featured in this series, and you'll know which one it is when I get there. But it's still just not very compelling. Now that's due in part, I suppose, to the characters, which I don't find very compelling. In fact, most of them annoy me. But I don't know. I just didn't really care about what was going on in the story, to be honest. The music in this game, in my opinion, is terrible. I know there are some songs in here that are okay, but there are a lot of them that are just god-awful. Here, let me give you one example of this. Okay, so this is the music from the Unalesca fight, and the first time I heard this song, it was back when I was living with roommates, and one of my roommates was playing through the game, and I distinctly remember walking by and not really looking at what he was doing, but I started doing something else, and I heard this, and I was like, is the game frozen? Like, is it locked up? What the hell is that shit? I really hope you like the sound wow 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 and bong bong. I hope you like those a lot, because that's all this damn song is. It's just wow 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 bong bong. It's the most god-awful annoying song I've ever heard. It's like, it's not even music, it's noise. Come on, guys. This is seriously what you came up with? This is a Final Fantasy title. And what you came up with was wow, 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 wow. Seriously? I'm not even going to let this whole song play, because it's just so annoying. You get the idea. If you've heard this much, you've heard the whole song. Because this just repeats over and over and over. I hope you beat Unalesca really fast, because, yeah, you're going to want to blow your brains out by the time you've heard this song, like, repeat 12 times. Ugh, God, it's terrible. And the truth is, there are way, way too many songs in here that sound like that. I'm not even going to play any of the Final Fantasy X Prelude, the classic Crystal theme prelude that has remained basically unaltered throughout the series, and they totally raped the hell out of it, and it sounds awful. Ugh, so bad. Okay, we're moving on now. I don't want to talk about this anymore. That's just so annoying for me. Okay, so annoying characters, convoluted, uninteresting story, and terrible music is what we got so far. The battle system is pretty good in this game, I will give it that much. Pretty decent battle system. I don't really have any complaints there. Also, the graphics in this game are, I will say, good. I have no complaints with the graphics in this game, other than the character design, which are... The character designs are terrible. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on why Tidus's outfit is ridiculous, but if you're questioning whether or not his outfit is ridiculous, then I could basically say anything and you wouldn't agree with me, so... It's ridiculous. I'll leave it at that. So that's basically covering everything. I'm sure I'm probably missing something, but those are the big things. It's just... It tries really hard to be a really awesome game. It tries really hard, but it just doesn't do it. Not for me, anyway. It's got too many flaws. and I think the game is just so ridiculously overrated. It's just not that great. It's not like the worst game ever, but it's just not as good as you people try to make it out to be. It just isn't. So quit being a bunch of fanboys and just play something good. Like Suikoden 2 on the PS1, for example. You know, if you care what I think, which you probably don't, but, you know, whatever. Okay, coming up at number 8, we've got Legend of Mana. Now, Legend of Mana, Saga Frontier 2, Odin Sphere, and a couple other games, they basically all suffer from the same problem, and that is style over substance. When I first saw Legend of Mana, it just struck me. I was like, wow, this game is just absolutely beautiful. Everything is hand-painted. You can tell they really spent a lot of time on the actual visuals of the game. But to be honest, as far as I can tell, that's about the only place that they spent time. Because there's really nothing else I can say about this game that's really all that good. I guess the music is okay, I guess, but that's about it. It's just, it feels pretty vacuous. Here's problem number 1. The way you progress through the game is basically of your own choosing, which sounds okay in theory, but the problem is there's no real central storyline in this game. It's like you make different towns with different special objects you get from doing quests, like, oh, I got an anchor. Let me put it here on the map, and now a city pops out. I don't know, they don't really explain it. It doesn't really make any sense. I think they were maybe on, you know, crack or something when they were coming up with that. But whatever, it's not really important. What is important is that, as I said, because of this system, there's no real central story. Basically, you go from city to city, and you have these relatively unrelated quests that you're supposed to perform, and it doesn't make you feel like you're much of a hero. It's more like you're an errand boy, and that's not good as far as I'm concerned. I'd even take, you know, an anti-hero over this garbage. I mean, it doesn't have to be save the world, but damn it, don't give me go pick up my groceries. I mean, what the hell is that? The battle system is not really that great. It's sort of like Secret of Mana with special moves which you can unlock, but it's just really not all that interesting. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. It's not really that good. I'm not really sure what else to say about this, to be honest. It's just that it looks very pretty, and then you get into it and you realize that that's all there is to it. It's just a lot of pretty things that are ultimately just superficial, because there's nothing beneath them. There's no real good story or gameplay or anything. There's just no reason to really even play this game. You could just look at it for a little while like, ooh, that's pretty, that's pretty. But look, make an art book. Don't don't make a supposed game and just use it as the game as an excuse to show off your artwork. And that's basically what this game is, in my opinion. So that's basically all I have to say about that. And I think this statement basically holds true for the series ever since, well, basically everything after Secret of Mana 2. I mean, all the games that have come out after that, I mean, they all looked really good, but they're just not that good. There's not really much to them. I think that's pretty sad considering how good Secret of Mana and Secret of Mana 2 are. Secret of Mana 2 was only released in Japan, by the way. In case you're not sure what I'm talking about, that was only in Japan. But you can get an English translation. And if you want something like a Secret of Mana game that is actually good, I would suggest checking that one out if you haven't. Do not check out Legend of Mana, or basically any of the other games in the series since Legend of Mana.